Hi, I'm Joe Ashton, UAW Vice President and Director of the General Motors Department.
And I'm Kathy Clegg, Vice President, Labor Relations, GM North America.
April 28th is recognized nationally as Worker Memorial Day. It's a date of remembrance at all UAW and GM facilities. On this day, we gather to recognize and honor those who have lost their life in the workplace. It's also a day to renew our pledges to stop these tragedies from ever happening again. The loss of a life or any injury on a job is unacceptable.
Today, we renew our promise to protect the health and well-being of every UAW GM worker going forward. We stand together with a firm and joint commitment to accomplish this. Providing the safest workplace possible at every location will continue to be our company's overriding priority.
For decades, the UAW and General Motors have worked hard to advance health and safety of everyone in our facilities. And yet, unfortunately, incidents still occur. Workplace tragedies have devastating effects on everyone. No one ever forgets.
Since our last Workers' Memorial Day, we've experienced some of these unfortunate incidents. Thankfully, none have resulted in a fatality. But remember that any one of these could have.
As the auto industry grows stronger and the economy continues to improve, plants are ramping up and more people, new products, and new technology. The potential for injuries increase.
That's why it's critical that we renew our commitment in following each and every safety procedure, process, and standard. It's the responsibility of the entire organization to do the right things to protect everyone.
In many ways, our relationships at work are like our families. We all should care about what happens to each another.
In reality, each near miss could just as easily become a tragedy. We cannot allow tragedies to be our starting point for taking action.
As you view this year's video, we urge you to ask yourself, what if? What if you got seriously hurt? What if your family had to go without you because of a workplace accident?
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll take care of it when I get there, okay? All right. Let me grab the notes. Yeah. Just make sure everybody's there, okay, on time. Well, you know what? Give me that date again. Okay, sweetie, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the calendar right now.
Accidents can happen at any time. Of course, sometimes they're minor. But on this Workers' Memorial Day, we stop and remember that accidents can be serious. But sometimes they're fatal. And the fatalities are forever. When you work in an automotive facility, you know you're around a great variety of equipment with different functions and potential hazards that come along with them. It's easy to become used to coming into work every day with no accidents or injuries. It might become easy to think that could never happen to me. But what if something happened at a moment's notice?
In my daily job assignment, I was connecting a piece of test equipment to an emergency light to determine where it was being fed from. The wire arced and caused a power failure for the whole building.
There are always going to be potential hazards in a workplace environment, such as sharp edges, electrical wiring, heights, spills, moving equipment. Things can happen very quickly.
I was deburring or removing the sharp edges and burrs from a piece of aluminum grating, and I had just gotten done with one part and was trying to pick up another one, and my shirt got caught in the wheel and was pulling me down towards the wheel. If the machine hadn't been stopped before any part of my body made contact, I would have had a severe injury on my right arm, and I was being choked at the same time. Luckily, the only casualty was the shirt I was wearing, and the only injury was to my pride.
Had I not had my personal protective equipment on, I may have experienced an arc flash burn, loss of limb, or even possibly loss of life. One of the lessons that I did learn from this was to always keep your personal protective equipment on, and you never know when to expect the unexpected.
We've all learned from past incidents, and the UAW and General Motors have worked together to implement state-of-the-art safety technology, programs, and training to remove the what if from every worker's day. These safety initiatives are in place to help ensure that an accident doesn't happen to you.
There are a lot of potential hazards in the workplace, such as pinch points, confined space issues, chemical. All these we have to be aware of, and that's something that our health and safety procedures address when we're doing training for all of our employees. Not only the employees, but people that come in that are walking through our plants, putting on your harness properly, blowing your horns at intersections, checking lockout procedures from the very beginning, checking your truck before you get on it and start doing your work. All these little things add up to a safe environment where everybody can walk out the same way they came in.
What if there were no lockout, personal protection equipment, and red tag procedure?
The UAW-GM safety programs that are in place have trained the employees on the floor from the bottom to the people that are actually supervising them, have equal training on lockout for electrical hazards. We have training for motor power equipment. We have a red tag procedure where we place on a piece of equipment that's defective. We have a take two for safety. No matter how minor the hazard is, it could be created into a fatality. So you address everything, whether it's large or small, you address it.
What if there were no pre-task safety plans, proper training, or hierarchy of controls?
We learned from our past incidents that happened in the plant. When a pedestrian was struck by a piece of mobile equipment, after the incident occurred, we went in and we used the hierarchy of controls. We went into the area and tried to see if we could eliminate whatever was the cause of the incident. From that, we went down to engineering controls, down to warnings and signage, and at that point, we realized that's what we needed to do in that area.
The UAW and GM have taken what we've learned from past incidents and implemented a continuous process of improvement in safety technology and training. Most UAW GM workers have heard of incidents that occurred on the job, and many were there when these incidents happened. And sometimes, it's the worst thing of all. Sometimes a coworker, someone they've worked alongside, someone they've teamed with, someone who's been there every day, a husband, a father, never comes back. It may be difficult to imagine a death happening suddenly, to picture life without someone you're used to seeing every day. But the fact is, workplace fatalities are all too real, as some of us have learned the hard way.
My best friend was a machine repairman, and he had done this job as a machine repairer as approximately 34 years. They told me there had been an accident at the plant. Well, when you think of an accident, you assume, well, someone probably either got a cut or broke a leg or an arm or something like that. I never dreamed it was this severe until after the third phone call, and at that time, that's when they explained to me that my best friend had been involved, and it did not look good for him at all. And the fourth phone call came back, and they said it was a fatality. He had 2 daughters and a son. I lost their dad. He had a sister. She lost her brother. Not only did it impact the employees at that time, but it even to this very day.
The impact of a fatality goes beyond the day it happens, beyond the people who were there at the time. It affects the family, the people in the plant, and the community. When an accident results in a fatality, there is no going back. You may ask yourself, What if I could have done something differently? What if I could have prevented it? But the reality is, fatalities are forever, and the impact is forever.
Danny, a home run. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
Yeah, Dad told me to choke up on the bat and not crowd the plate. That's what I was thinking of when I hit the ball.
He really loved playing baseball with you. Okay, it's homework time. I'll get dinner.
Okay.
It's very difficult to imagine losing that friend who works next to you, or what life would be like if a loved one never returned home from work.
We all imagine how devastating a fatal accident would be. Ask yourself, what if? Personalize the importance of a safe work practices both at work and at home.
It helps us to understand that accidents aren't just things that happen to other people. They can happen to any one of us.
The health and safety of UAW-GM employees will always remain our most important priority.
And that means that every one of us needs to make it our personal priority too. Let's take the what-if concept we've seen in today's video to the next level.
We commit to follow all UAW-GM safety practices and procedures every day.
And speak up. Take action anytime you see a potential hazard. You might not have a second chance.
You could be saving a life. Nothing could be more important.
Following proper safety procedures may take an extra moment,
but fatalities are forever.